Okay, so we're about mile 1 here, and as you can see, this is kind of where we start to get into some of the more technical aspects of the course. This next little section, I'm actually going to put the camera on my head, so the footage may be a little bumpy, but it'll give you a good idea of kind of what's going to happen once we go around this turn and get up top. And then we'll meet back up with Brian here on the other side, and we'll get some great video of the downhill that will come at you after this hard section. So here we go. Alright, so once we got up to the top there, now we came across the kind of the flat section here, not a whole lot of hills. A couple little rocky sections, as you can see, some spectacular views of the peak from this point. From here we're going to cross the road, and now we'll have a little bit of a flat section, and then the fun will begin. We get a nice long downhill, couple technical sections, but some spots that you can kind of open it up. Here we go.
Hey. Oh yeah. Now what we've been waiting for. Good about this part. Yeah.
The Grandview Trail, this is where your first aid station is going to be. From here, this is your reward for the first half. This next part is a nice, big, open, non-technical downhill section that you can let the horses fly on. And we'll see you down at the bottom.
Cool.
Alright, so once we got off the nice long downhill, we came across the road. We came from where Brian just pointed from the camera. Now we're going to head up this section. Ahead of you is going to be the longest uphill portion of this whole race. Some of the other parts are much steeper, but this is by far the longest. So I'm going to run with this on my head to give you kind of a runner's trail view of it. And then once up top, then we get some nice views of Pikes Peak looking out west, and kind of just takes the western edge of this park all the way back until we kind of start to come back into the interior of the park. So here we go. So to give you an idea here, okay, so now we're on the far western side of the park. As you can see, we can see Union Boulevard out there. Some other nice shots of Pikes Peak and the range down there to Cheyenne Mountain. So from here, we're going to run along the whole western edge of the park, and then kind of loop our way back down into what they call lazy land. So there's going to be parts that I'm going to have this thing on, so maybe some video, some bumpy stuff, and then other parts maybe handheld bike sections like we're doing here. So here we go. Okay, so we just came from up top part of Lazyland. Now we're down here in the campground area. This is going to be one of the main aid stations for you. From here we head into the section that they consider Little Moab. So we'll run through some real cool like rock sculptures and things like that. And so part of it will be on that camera, and some of it's going to be on the head camera. So here we go. Oh, shit. Alright, so we've what we've done here is where Brian brought the camera from. We've came up from that Boy Scout camp up through the trails here. It's pretty easy running. The trails aren't real, they're pretty wide, pretty easy, not real technical. Now we're gonna head up here. You're on the home stretch here. This is your last aid station. You have about 1 mile left. So we're gonna come up top here, run across the top, and then the finish, the reason we call it a 9-ish mile trail race is because once we get up top here, you'll see, once you get up, you're going to have multiple ways to get down. If you're a little more conservative and go to the far left, it's a little further. If you're kind of a daredevil guy and you go down the center, it's a little shorter. And there's really no rules in terms of how you get down once you get over to the very end spot. So I'll have the camera on my head at that point and you'll see what I'm talking about. So here we go. Finley's famous tree. Now if you want, you can go down that way. Like I said, if you're a little more of a daredevil, that would be the way to go. For a little more conservative like myself, you're gonna go this far away over here. So we're kind of through it. And you see that's where we came from, so you could have came that way, this way, or this far away. So all depends on how daring and how willing you are to beat yourself up. We are done. How was it? That is 9 of the funnest miles you will ever run. It's tough. Even running this course as many times as I had, every time it's still challenging. So, you know, get in contact with us at the Boulder Running Company. You know, and see you race day.